Hello everyone. This is a case of an 80-year-old lady with a grade 2 to grade 3 cataract and corneal degeneration due to old trachoma. She was basically a one-eyed patient because the other eye had extensive corneal scarring. So after making a 2.2 millimeter clear corneal incision, I stained the capsule with trypan blue dye. The visibility was not that great, but it was okay. And the patient was cooperative enough. So after staining the capsule, I inject HPMC over the cornea and fill the anterior chamber with HPMC. And this is not a very hard cataract, and this is a cataract of uneven density. Pre-operatively, I could make out that there were certain areas of corticocapsular adhesions, and I had this thing in the back of my mind that probably this nucleus won't rotate very well even pre-operatively. So it's important to see all patients pre-operatively and make a mental picture of your plan so that you execute it well on the table. So I made about a 6 millimeter rhexis so that the nuclear removal would be easier. Now I inject, after taking out some of the viscoelastic, I inject BSS under the CCC rim, but I could not see the fluid wave transfers the whole area. So I repeated hydro in multiple areas, injecting small amounts of fluid repeatedly, hoping it would free this nucleus. Now I again inject viscoelastic and make a side port for my chopper. Now my plan in this case was to do stop and chop. Before that, with my Sinskey I tried to rotate, but see, it is attached in the inferotemporal area. So I did not rotate it too much, since in old patients the zonular apparatus is already weak. So this technique is very helpful when the nucleus does not rotate. What you can do is do a stop and chop technique. Make a central deep trench. Now it is the most important thing to remember is the depth of the trench, and the most common cause where the nucleus does not divide is the depth is inadequate. So you have to deepen the trench till about 90%, and then take your two instruments, the phaco handpiece and your chopper, at a deeper plane and do lateral separation. You see there was a very good crack and the nucleus is divided into two pieces. Now I change to quad mode, where I increase the vacuum and flow rate, and I try to bring out one heminucleus, but it breaks and a small piece comes out. Now I try to rotate this piece, but it does not rotating. So again, with my phaco probe, with gradual increasing vacuum, I am trying to bring this heminucleus out of the capsular bag, and this time it comes out. So once a part of the nucleus is out, the remaining surgery becomes very easy. Now I recoat with a dispersive viscoelastic to protect the corneal endothelium, as already the cornea is compromised. Now this is not a very hard nucleus. It's a relatively soft nucleus. So with minimal power and mostly vacuum and aspiration, I just emulsify these pieces. So the one heminucleus has already been emulsified. Now see, this remaining heminucleus also didn't rotate that well. So I'm trying to bring out this heminucleus, but it's not coming out. I tried to rotate once again, and this time I was a bit successful. So you have to remember one thing, while bringing this nuclear piece out of the bag, you have to take your phaco probe towards the thickest portion, that is from the central part. So then it came out and I divided into two pieces and emulsify each of these pieces in the pupillary plane. Now sometimes the removal of the epinuclear shell is even harder in such cases where the corticocapsular adhesions are strong. So the nucleus is out, the cortical sheet and epinuclear shell is left. Now my plan is to do a viscodissection, trying to prolapse this epinuclear shell out from the capsular bag, but I was not successful. So I decide to make a side port inferiorly, and now my plan is to rotate this epinuclear shell so that the thickest portion comes to lie inferiorly in front. So I take a Simcoe and I am rotating this shell. Once that is done, I initially try to aspirate with Simcoe, but this is too thick for Simcoe. It's not coming out. So I re-inject viscoelastic in the anterior chamber and in epinucleus mode, that is minimal power, only vacuum, I'll be aspirating this epinuclear shell. Now care should be taken to not apply power at this stage. Once the whole epinuclear shell becomes free, then only apply power. Otherwise, you will eat up a part of it and the remaining will be left. So, gradual rotation will flip out the epinuclear shell like this. And once it is free from all around, then go in foot position 3 and use minimal power to eat away the epinucleus. That's it. Foot pedal control is very important for this. Now again go back with my Simcoe to aspirate the remaining cortex. Now dealing with such types of sticky nuclei which do not rotate with big epinuclear shell is sometimes tricky. So you have to be very patient. And here I am trying to peel off some of the cortical fibers which are sticking to the posterior capsule, but I don't try too hard. I don't want to break the posterior capsule at this stage. At this time I notice there is a small Descemet's detachment at the main wound. So in the further steps, I need to be very careful and watchful about the Descemet's at the main incision area. It should not extend. DMD, small DMDs in such types of corneas are very common because of repeated entry of instruments and phacoprobe. Probably this has happened. So I will have to be careful not to extend it any further. So now I am injecting the IOL, taking care about the Descemet's. Now the leading haptic goes inside the bag. This is a single piece hydrophilic acrylic lens, and I push the trailing haptic inside the bag with a visco cannula. I wash out some of the viscoelastic with pilocarpine, and the remaining viscoelastic is aspirated with Simcoe cannula. Once the cataract is removed, the cornea also appears clearer. There was a small chunk of cortex which I aspirated. It is important to do proper cleaning of viscoelastics to avoid post-operative IOP spike, and also to check for any remnant cortical matter near the main wound and the side ports, because sometimes in hazy corneas that can be left. Keeping an eye on the Descemet's detachment. That's it, the case is done. So I initially do stromal hydration of the side port to form the AC, and then very carefully do wound hydration of the main wound, not to extend the. At this time the patient started to become slightly restless, but she'll be happy on day 1. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful.